I know a lot of you 20 somethings who are dating 40 somethings and up, you feel like you struck the jackpot.
Get ready with me. I'm here in Thailand with my 44-year-old boyfriend, Mark.
My soulmate and the love of my life is 24 years older than me. My babe could work circles around any man half his age.
You should have chose better. The man chose them. He chose somebody who was too young to even know better herself.
Because you are young and you lack knowledge, so you are easily manipulated.
It's always women have to look a certain way in order to be chosen.
Yeah.
Not 20 somethings who are dating people 15 plus, 20 plus years older than you, like 20 somethings dating 40 somethings, even 50 somethings. Let me tell you why dating these older folks is a bad idea. I know a lot of you 20 somethings who are dating 40 somethings and up, you feel like you struck the jackpot. You feel like, oh, this person has more resources than me. They have more experience than me. I'm about to win. I'm going to come up off of this. And they probably sell you on that too, saying, oh, let me guide you. Let me drop some jewels on you. Let me give you some information. But the reality of it is they're only going to give you enough knowledge to impress you and not to empower you. See, when you don't have a wealth of experience, knowledge, and maturity, you can't really properly assess someone else's growth or someone else's progress, because you're only really seeing life through the lens of a 22-year-old, a 23-year-old, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful phase of life. Every phase of life where you're still breathing and you're above ground is a beautiful phase of life because it's still life. You ain't dead yet. So I'm not saying that you don't have awareness.
See, what's the crazy thing? Younger women like older men. Also, they should have older men. Hear me out. Because a younger man, the reason why he goes through so much turmoil, because it's really not his time and he's really not in his prime. That's why it's best for a young guy to get his ducks in a row, stay grinding, stay in the gym. That's preached over and over. Why is that? Because it's so true. When you get older, that's your time. If you get your ducks in a row before you get older, you can have fun. I say still have fun, but still, you have to understand, a lot of these ladies, they're not going to respect you when you're younger. So a guy has to wait till he gets older. Also, nowadays, what this lady doesn't realize, guys are getting older, they're hitting 50 years old, and they're not having children. They're not having children left and right. Are they going to have children with you? How old is she? She looks about 45, 50. You can't have kids anymore. You gotta have them with somebody. I say it all the time. Guy comes out to the Philippines, doesn't have any kids. What does he have to do? Get with a younger Filipina. Let me let her finish, though.
Or you're not smart enough to know from chicken. But what I'm saying is that there's a reason why you're more appealing to a 46-year-old man as a 22-year-old girl. Is you're still a girl, because in astrology, you're not an adult till you turn 28. The man-made law says at 18 you were able to run out in the world and run your own life. But in the spiritual laws, no. So a 22-year-old girl, a 25-year-old girl, a 26-year-old girl is appealing to a 48, 50, 53, 54-year-old man because there's something in his life that he hasn't mastered per se. Yes, you're physically attractive, but at the end of the day, physical nature of a human being is just one portion of that human being.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
we don't care.
Two people can't just be in the bed laying horizontally naked all day. They have to talk. They have to exchange ideas. They have to bounce thoughts off of each other to determine, well, how can my ideas grow? How effective are my ideas? And really, if you are 2.5 decades younger than somebody, you probably cannot do that effectively or do that in a way where that person is really benefiting. So what that means is ultimately you're being used, whether you're being used to validate their ego, they want to know if they still got it, or you're being used so that they can run from whatever growth that life has been encouraging them to attain. They've been running or avoiding the reality that life has been showing them as they're getting older. So because you're not really aware of that, and you don't have like I said, a wealth of maturity, depth to your experience, you can't really spot that or point that out. Are you going to learn a lot from somebody 15 years or 2 decades older than you? Hopefully. Hopefully it will be an enriching experience, but they're only going to drop enough knowledge and gems and jewels on you to impress you, not to empower you. Because if knowledge empowers you, then you might make a different set of decisions. You might start seeing when the math ain't math, and you might start seeing when, hey, wait a minute, I don't understand why this is going on because it contradicted when he said that. I don't understand when he did that, it contradicted this other action. And so, ain't nobody going to give you no knowledge to turn you into no scholar. You know what I'm saying? Just enough for you to go, ooh, he's so smart. She's so wise, just enough for them to keep getting out of.
Why every time they explain something, they explain turmoil? Like, so you're saying every guy that's getting with a younger woman is bad. I'm not going to rise you up. I'm going to keep you low so I can control you. When there are younger women who love older men. I'm going to show that today. I'm going to show some younger women who actually lead the relationship. Yes. We have a new day and age now. The man lets them take the lead. Of course, he provides, but she has all the say-so. So what do you say about that then? She will say anything to try to get things in her favor. See, what happened is she's at the age where guys have said, I'm not dating you. What is she coming across like? Too much of a know-it-all. But she knows nothing. Why does she know nothing? Because that's not every situation. But she's on TikTok trying to have every woman like this. That's what's happening. I see so many younger women doing this for no reason. And that's left the game tainted. That's why guys aren't talking to women now. Because a woman like this.
You what they need to get out of you. An older person may have more resources and has possibly attained more success in whatever professional endeavors or businesses to which they've committed themselves. So you thinking, okay, I like the nice fly clothes and the fly purses. An older person, they got that salary, they got that bag. So you think it's more of a come up. But at the end of the day, them throwing some coins at you to keep you around to just kind of draw sexual energy from you, or like I said, companionship, or, flattering their ego. They'll throw some coins at you for a while, but in the end, you're not really impressive to them. They know that you're missing a lot. They know you're still under development. You're under construction. They know this. That should be a red flag to you when somebody who knows you're under construction is impressed by you.
All right, now this is the last time we're going to stop it. Yes, men do know they're under construction. That's a good thing. They're not tainted like you, right? A man wants a lady that's under construction so he can mold her in the right way she should go. That's what guys are trying to do. Not for the bad, but for the good. Because, so she doesn't end up like you. There are tons of guys out here who are passed up. Good guys, nice guys, who are passed up, who have said, I'm not getting with Shaquisha, Shaquana, Yolanda, the girl that won't Dolce and Gabbana. Yeah, guys have said, I'm not doing that. So what happens? A guy sits back. He doesn't have nothing going on. He has things going on as far as his career, but as far as the kids section, and he's 40, 50 years old. What is that man to do?
And another thing that you might not want to hear is that occasionally you're annoying to them. See, when you're in the
Who hurt you?
earlier stages of adulthood, still under development, emotional, psychological development, you take things more seriously. You have more consistent, over the top emotional reactions to things. things are usually more of a crisis to you. And older people, they're beyond a lot of that. They've already transcended, that phase of life where everything is a 911 emergency. You know what I'm saying? So when you complain and, well, why is this and what is that? And you show your 22, 23, 24-year-old emotional self. They don't tell you this, but they're annoyed. They're annoyed by you because they've already graduated from making everything into a drama series when it just doesn't need to be. That's just something that comes with age. So they're not telling you that. But yeah, you get on their nerves sometimes. You are better off dating someone in your own age bracket, in your own generation, and building with them than you are being a toy, a momentary toy for someone who needed to be reassured that they still got that flavor and they still lit out here in these streets. And, they used you to just, bow and praise and validate them. And, maybe for sexual gratification too, because they know that's another thing. They've had many more years to be in the bed. So you're overly impressed by all of the experience they've acquired, So now you're whipped and your mind is gone. It can be a really taxing experience when it's all said and done. And by the time you do learn a lot from the relationship, the do's, the don'ts, and you say, wow, this was a lot. You give your years to this person, now they're 59, you know what I'm saying? You're 31, maybe you have a kid by them or not, who knows? I don't know. But now you're ready to kind of withdraw from the situation and more than likely go deal with somebody who's more age appropriate after that experience. This happens all the time. I know people don't want to hear it. They say love is love, but love entails empowering another person. Love entails doing what's best for another person, not just extracting from them and pulling from them what
Hey, stop the video.
you need based upon.
No, I gotta stop this. I'll tell you why, right? A lady has to know who they're dealing with. There are older guys out there like that, but you have to pick up on the signs and leave at a crucial time. I know you get in love, it's hard to go, but what I learned to do as a man, I'm not saying it's easy as a woman, is I learned later in life, the older I got, even when I was in the West, I was in situations and I had to say, I gotta go and leave relationships at the drop of a hat. You gotta do that. It can be 2 years later, 3 years later. You have to do it. And does every older guy have the right idea in his mind? No, they don't. But you can't let women like her get on here and deter your brain because that's been done for so many years.
It's time to stop. No more.
Watch this next situation. You see what I'm talking about.
Get ready with me. I'm here in Thailand with my 44-year-old boyfriend Mark and his 2 children. Tell you a bit about our travel plans, what we've got coming up. So tonight we're going out for tea, so I need to get dressed and mute Mark and leave. It's very funny how he doesn't talk on my videos, but he talks on his own on the Hillary's. So at the minute we're in Phuket, and it's our 2nd week being here. We're going to leave Phuket in 2 weeks' time to go to Malaysia. Literally just booked our flight to Malaysia. Well, Mark's sugar daddy, you're literally just with Mark for the money. She paid for all of us to come here to Thailand. I paid for the flights to go to Malaysia. You're bummy, you don't work, this, that, the other. TikTok is a job, it pays. Like, there's so many nice people here on this app and I get so many nice comments all the time. I've had a few people also ask me, like, what's Thailand like in, like, off-season? It rained about, is it about 3 times? Yeah, it's rained about 3 times. And yeah, it is, like, heavy rain, but it lasts about half an hour. Let's set my under eye because I've not set them properly using the Huda Beauty yet. Mark got me a mini one for my birthday. Because he didn't want to stretch out and buy me the big one, which I think is really, really stingy of him, not gonna lie. Right, there we go. Just my normal jewellery on. This is from Ami Jewels, this is from Gucci. These are from Sarah Mar, and then these are from Nomination, and my watch is Gucci. so is my bracelet. Bag is actually my mum's, and then this jumpsuit I got on TikTok Shop. Yeah, here's the hair, the makeup, everything is done, and now we're gonna go off out for tea.
So you see her there, right? Now, that's a 24-year age difference. He could very well be a sugar daddy. Does she look like she cares? Does she look abused? She looks like she understands what she's in. So what that old lady saying, you gotta ignore it. Look, and it gets even more crazy out there. Take a look at this one.
My soulmate and the love of my life is 24 years older than me. So my babe could work circles around any man half his age. For 40 years, he was a septic guy. He installed septic tanks. He has his installer's license. He has his pumper's license. But for a long time, he ran the pump truck and he pumped out septic tanks. Pretty crappy job, right? Literally. But with that job came quite literally digging holes all day, every day. If he pumped 12 tanks per day and had to dig up 2 lids, that's literally like 24 holes every single day for years. So not only is he muscle from head to toe,
That's love.
it really took a toll on like his
She admires him.
shoulders. So he has shoulder pain, and literally we tried everything on the market. We tried those like rollers, we tried different creams, different balms, like literally everything. I kid you not, I've had this emu oil, and I realized on the back it said for aches and pains, rub a small amount topically onto the sore area daily. I could not believe within like 10 minutes, he was like, babe, I think that stuff is working. And I was like, what? Because I've never heard him say that before. I was like, what? He was like, literally, my pain is almost gone. I was like, are you kidding me? Because when I tell you that my husband is picky, and he's just the type of guy, he doesn't talk about things a lot. Like, unless it really impresses him, he won't say anything. Or, you know, like before when we try different things, I'd be like, does your shoulder feel any better? He's like, not really. So the fact that he said to me, like, holy crap, I think that's working, I knew that it was good stuff. So I ended up trying it for myself and could not believe how well it worked for aches and pains. It's also super hydrating. It's actually like a milky color. And in the wintertime, I get super dry patches, if you will. So I put it on my dry patches. I've also used it on scars, and like they've improved. And then it says on the bottle that you can also put it on your hair and your scalp, which I have not tried that yet. So if you're somebody like us and you have aches and pains or dry skin, you guys need to try this emu oil. It's pure, it's organic, it's hexane free or chemical free. It's fast absorbing, natural, and it's by my favorite brand, Lemon Rose. Y'all know I love Lemon Rose. Like, I have so many of their products. I have yet to use one that I did not like. So I'm going to link it right here for y'all. Let me know how you like it. Love y'all.
You all turn around and tell these girls you should have chose better. The man chose them, right? The man chose them, and he chose somebody who was too young to even know better herself.
Well, actually,
Where is your husband?
And now we say it's your fault that these men are not acting right. It's a 20-year-old's fault that a mother effing 30-year-old is not acting right?
Why men love young girls so much. There are a number of reasons. A, you are young, so you look good because you have youth on your side. But B, most importantly and most scarily, because you are young and you lack knowledge, so you are easily manipulated.
That's a who's that?
I do not care how much knowledge or experience you have as a woman. If the guy you are talking to is 5+ years older than you, you will be easy for him to manipulate. Now, I would say this stops being applicable from like 30 plus, because I think 30 plus, everybody is an adult. So a 30-year-old and a 40-year-old or 45-year-old, quite similar, even though there is still an age gap. So let's first understand that most men do not love being held accountable or being forced to be responsible. And what happens is, as women get older, they start to understand the game more, they start to understand men more, and they start to have higher expectation and tougher rules for men. Men do not like that. And men will say that they like younger girls because they look better, obviously youth, and, you know, the children thing.
Oh, absolutely.
However, there are a lot of beautiful, fine, older ladies.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Who still can have children. The only difference between those two women is that one of them has the experience of age on her side and has experienced things with men. And once you have experience, you have knowledge. You can spot some of these men coming. It is so much easier for a man to spill his lies, his tricks, his manipulation on a young girl because it's probably the first time she's ever coming across that type of situation. She probably does not know what to question him about.
Yeah. More and more scare tactics, right? Now, the wild thing is you got some good knowledge from the person who I'm about to show next, who you would least suspect, especially as a man, will least suspect it from.
Why? I've asked my husband why, because he's older, why men tend to go for younger women, and I'm younger, rather than women their own age. And he says they have too much baggage. And even if they don't have kids, he says they still have baggage because they're so protective of themselves. They're so worried about the future. They're so set in their ways. You can't teach them anything. They don't listen to you like a young woman would. They're not surprised. They're not impressed easily. They don't look up to you, you know. And the younger women are like, you know, infatuated. Everything the guy says sounds good and smart and like a good idea. And, you know, they have years of experience. So the younger woman is impressed by the older man. And the older man feels like he's the man and he's got it going on. So as an older woman, you're going to have to, if you want a man your age, you're going to have to get a youthful appearance. You're going to have to do what it takes to compete with young women. You're going to have to do a youthful hairdo, do a youthful makeup look, wear trendy clothes like the young girls do. Because guys like shiny new things, okay? You got to follow all the latest trends and the fads that the young girls do, okay? You have to compete. You're going to have to let him lead. You're going to have to play dumb, first of all, because all of your years of experience and maturity doesn't mean anything to him right now, okay? And you're going to have to pretend like, you know, everything he says is the best thing you've ever heard.
She was good until she got to that part and started. She's always giving women the game, but what she said is right. They're too experienced. They're too much of know-it-alls. Just like Sprinkle turned into, right? From how many years of gaming dudes. She's a grown old woman that no guy would ever date. And I hope her man stays with her for her sake, because that doesn't happen. She's hitting the streets and people are going to know her from a mile away unless she puts on a fake face. But knowing her, she'll do it. She'll disguise her face, get a face job, change her voice. But let me get on to the next one.
Is that why we can't put the same standards and stipulations on y'all? It's always women have to look a certain way in order to be chosen.
Yeah.
We have to have a certain body. We have to have a certain glow. We have to have a certain look. But with y'all, and I'll just speak in my category because I'm over 50.
Over 27?
Once I get to this age, I start to lose that beauty, that youth.
Unmarried, female, what do you call this lady? 剩女, which means leftover women.
Right? So the older men will start looking at the younger women, right? However, they're no different than me because they're losing the look, the body starts
Delusional.
to go, and it's
They're
like,
different.
Negro.
Why, I swear, you women, you tickle me, man. I swear. Y'all the ones that made up the rules. When you was young and in your 20s, you never wanted to date the boys that was your age. Why? Because girls mature faster than boys. And you need someone that's older, someone that's more established, somebody that's on your mental level. But the problem with that is when you hit 50, nobody really wants to date older then, right? It's not fun then. So now you want to try to switch over and date guys your age, and
Those days are over.
sorry, the rules don't change just because you just want to change your mind one day. So
Yep.
what are you, like 50? See, you need to keep dating up. Go get you a 70-year-old. There's still man out there for you. But don't try to change the rule and ruin it for the other young ladies,
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game.
because this is not about what men want. This is about what women want.
It is.
Young women want to date older men, and I don't see why you should be allowed to change the rules and ruin everything for the younger women that are the age that you once were and want the things that you once wanted.
So true.
Like, women don't tell other women you look dumb and you don't look bright. Enough for me. Because sometimes I just be seeing things and then women be like, oh, yes, and I showed him and I got him. And I'm like, where? All I gotta say is, I thank God for the friends that I have because they are quick to call me all sorts of fools. Because honestly, some of you women think you got a got you moment. Oh, if my man won't pay for something, another man will. And it's like, but that's who you've decided to be your man, though. You've given up everything. You've done all this stuff for him, but you think you got a gotcha moment because another man's going to come and pay for something. At that point, do you think he really cares? It's like, I don't think it's like, we're too old to be thinking that if this guy doesn't want me, his friend will. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, but so many feel that way. They feel they're empowered. I got you moment. Oh, take me out. Oh, buy this. You won't do okay. Another guy will. No. Men don't care about that. Men would rather you go to the next guy. I saw a video of one of my last videos I reacted to. An older guy, a lady acted like somebody bought her a drink. The guy said, go back in there and get me a drink too. Took her drink, started drinking it. That's how it is nowadays. Guys are getting colder.
Society is like, oh, it's embarrassing to be single and 30. Oh, it's embarrassing to be in your 40s and single as a woman. You know what's embarrassing? To be married with a man that you have to gentle parent. Married to a man who doesn't take care of his own children. To be married to a man that doesn't help out around the house. To be married to a man that sees you as an income source instead of a partner. To be married to a man that doesn't know how to solve problems. You should be grateful that you have an opportunity to meet a man that actually brings value into your life and doesn't bring more problems and more stress and anxiety into your life.
No, that's fine. Stay single. Right? This is one of the ones that she's not going to realize until she's in her 30s. You're pushing 40. Do you have kids? I hope you were a single mother. At least you got a kid. At least you were a single mom. You knocked that out the way. But yeah, it's getting wild. Like, they don't realize. And look at it. Look what's happening. Younger women are taking the older men. She's going to be another one of them. Being on younger woman. I bet you. Saying, oh, older men are trying to take advantage of you. They're done with you too. She's too old as well. A guy would rather go to another country, get someone that's younger.
I want something feminine and delicate.
Probably looks better and not a headache. Better off than dealing with you. Look at everything you said. It's like when you in a horror movie and you see something evil and you throw up the sign. That's what it's like with her, with most of these modern women.
Open secret about Leonardo DiCaprio that no one dares to ask. And that secret is he never dates any women older than 25. Seriously, for the past 20 plus years, 48-year-old Leo has only dated 18, 20, 23, 22, 20, 25, 24, 20, 23. And at least 4 of them were damned soon after they celebrated their 25th birthday.
Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him.
Obviously, just look at these graphs. You cannot unsee it. Is he really just a Hollywood creep who preys on younger women? Here are 5 theories on why Leo only dates women under 25 according to psychologists. And the last one will definitely surprise you. Number 1. Leo is scared of being used. Psychologist Nicole Gale believes that Leo dates these young models because unlike actresses, they can't really have an impact on his career or use him to get ahead in the industry. But it can also be the other way around, because number 2, Leo needs them to remain hot in Hollywood. After all, if he is always seen with a young, beautiful model beside him, people will think that he's still got it. Therefore, he will keep getting leading man roles.
Like I said, I have no comments.
But what if I told you this is born out of insecurity? That maybe number 3, Leo does this to feel in control. To put it simply, an older guy like Leo dating someone in their early 20s will still have the power to influence how they think and possibly mold them into the person they want them to be. So if that is the case, why is it that Leo most often breaks up with women when they turn 25? Number 4, Leo is scared of marriage. A source close to him said that starting a family isn't exactly what Leo wants. So it makes sense that he will want to be around women who...
I'm going to end it right there because I think number 4 is part right. I think the man is definitely scared of marriage and he wants to catch women at their ripe age when they're not as influenced by feminist ways as of yet. That's what it is. Marriage. Look what's happening in marriage. Everybody in the West, every man is getting taken for everything. You see all of the top guys, sports players, everybody gets robbed and divorced. He's avoiding it. Is it ethical? No. Who am I to judge, right? I'm not judging him. I'm saying the man is keeping his money safe. It's all about money to you, then that's smart. It's smart to him. I guess that's what he wants to do. Let the man do what he wants to do. A lot of guys are not trying to marry an older woman either. It's done. When you hit a certain age and you like that woman, before I played this video, in your 30s, hitting 40s, and you have that same feminist attitude, that's what's going to happen. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching. And guys aren't participating with that because they realize it's definitely more to life than getting with a woman like that. Thank you for watching. See you next video.